Welcome to Monday English Podcast. I'm glad you're here. Today, we'll talk about something small that can help you feel better, clearer, and more in control. Something as simple as making your bed. It might sound too easy, but sometimes the smallest action can lead to the biggest change. This episode is not about being perfect. It's about starting your day with one small win. Have you ever woken up feeling tired, lost, or overwhelmed? Your room is messy, your mind is full, and everything feels too much. I've been there too. But what if there's one task you can do, just one, that helps you take back your power? That's what we're exploring today. We'll start with how a made bed is more than just a tidy corner. Then we'll look at how your space affects your thinking. Finally, we'll talk about building strong habits from the smallest steps. You don't need to fix your whole life today, but you can begin with your bed. Let's step into segment 1. Let's begin with a simple picture. It's 7:45 in the morning. Your alarm went off 15 minutes ago, but you're still lying in bed. Maybe you didn't sleep well. Maybe your brain feels heavy with all the things you didn't finish yesterday. You finally get up. You walk across the room. The floor feels cold. You look at your bed. It's a mess. Blankets everywhere. Pillows on the floor. You think, I don't have time. I'll fix it later. And then the day begins. But something doesn't feel right. You go into the kitchen. You're already behind. You feel slow, tired, maybe even frustrated. You try to start your day, but deep down, a part of you is still back in that messy bed. Now imagine something different. You get out of bed, and instead of walking away, you pause. You pull the blanket up. You smooth the sheet. You place the pillows where they belong. It takes less than 2 minutes, but something changes. You look at your bed and feel clear. Not perfect, not magical, but clear. Like a small voice inside says, I did that. I finished something. I can keep going. This is not about cleaning. It's about control. When everything in life feels uncertain, this one small action is yours. It tells your brain, this day belongs to me. Making your bed is often the first decision you make after waking up. It can be your first small win. It may seem like a boring task, but it is also a strong message to yourself. A made bed tells you that you're ready to face the day. It shows that you care, even in a simple way, about yourself, your space, and your time. That matters more than you think. This idea might sound too easy. That's normal. We often believe that big changes need big steps. But in truth, real change comes from doing one small thing, again and again. You don't need motivation to make your bed. You just need to do it. The action comes first. The feeling often comes after. This is something called momentum. Momentum means when one action helps you do the next thing. When you make your bed, you begin a flow. That flow might take you to brushing your teeth, having breakfast, going for a short walk, or writing one sentence in your notebook. You don't need to do everything. Just the next thing. Your bed can also be a visual reminder. When you walk back into your room later, you see a space that is calm and ready. This can change the way you speak to yourself. It might even help you be kinder to yourself. A messy room is not a problem. We all have those days. But when you make your bed, you are choosing to create one clean, peaceful space. And that one space is enough to change your mood. Sometimes we believe we must follow a perfect morning routine. Drink water, exercise, write, read, meditate. But if you don't do those things, it's easy to feel like a failure. That is not helpful. Instead of trying to fix your whole life in one day, begin with just one small task. Making your bed is a great place to start. It doesn't take special tools. It doesn't need a strong body. You don't have to be rich or smart or successful to do it. You just have to decide. There is also something special about the feeling of smooth sheets, clean lines, and soft pillows placed with care. This kind of beauty does not require money. It requires attention. When you give attention to your space gives something back. It gives peace. It gives comfort. It reminds you that you are in control of something. In a world where many things feel out of control, that is a quiet kind of power. For many people, the bed becomes the first battle of the day. Do you leave it messy because you feel too tired? Or do you take 1 minute to create order, even if your mind is still foggy? That choice is important. You may not feel a big difference at first, but over time, that daily action becomes a message to yourself. I show up for me. That's how confidence grows. Not from doing everything right, but from doing one thing with care, again and again. Now, I want to be honest with you. Some days, even making your bed can feel hard. That's okay. Don't be ashamed of that. It doesn't mean you are lazy. It means you are human. We all have slow mornings. But if today is not your best, maybe tomorrow can begin with a small act of kindness to your future self. That is how we begin to build new habits, gently, patiently, and with love. So here's your small challenge. For the next 7 days, try making your bed every morning. Don't rush. Don't judge. Just take 2 minutes. Then step back and look at what you've done. Notice how you feel before and after. You might be surprised. From this one simple action, bigger changes may grow. When you're ready, we'll explore the next part of this journey, how your space affects your mind. Let's continue. Imagine this. You sit down to work. Your to-do list is long. You try to focus, but something feels off. Your eyes move around the room. There are clothes on the chair, papers on the desk, maybe a dirty cup from last night beside your bed. Without even thinking about it, your brain starts to feel heavy. You didn't plan to clean, but now you can't concentrate. Every object seems to call for your attention. Your mind is trying to work, but your space is full of noise. Not sound, but visual noise. Too many things in too many places. And that, silently, begins to steal your energy. You start your task, stop, check your phone, try again. But your focus is broken. The truth is, your environment speaks to your brain. It tells your mind how to feel and what to do next. Let's take a different example. Picture yourself walking into a clean, quiet room. Your bed is made. There's light coming in from the window. The floor is clear. There's a small table with only one book and a glass of water. Maybe there's a plant by the window. The space feels calm. You don't feel stressed. You breathe better. That's not magic. That's design. You created a space that helps your brain relax and think clearly. This is something we often forget. Your space affects your thoughts. When your surroundings are full of clutter, your mind can feel messy too. But when you make one small area neat and peaceful, your thoughts start to feel clearer. It doesn't mean you must live in a perfect home. It means you can choose to make one part of your space feel safe and simple. Often, the best place to start is near your bed. Think about your bedroom. This is the place where your day begins and ends. If that space feels heavy, your energy can drop. But if that space feels light and clean, your energy grows. A clear room supports clear thinking, and a clean room doesn't have to be big or beautiful. It just needs to feel quiet. The goal is not to impress anyone. The goal is to care for your brain. When we talk about peace, we don't just mean silence. We also mean less confusion. When your room has less visual mess, your brain can rest. You don't need to think about socks on the floor or papers under your pillow. Your attention is free for other things. That's how you protect your focus. That's how you become more creative and more present. Let's take a moment to talk about your senses. Your brain doesn't work alone. It uses your eyes, ears, nose, skin, your senses, to gather information. If your room is dark, Noisy or filled with strange smells, your brain works harder. But if your room has soft light, fresh air, and a clean surface, your senses feel safe. Your brain can slow down and do better work. Even something small, like a fresh pillow or an open window, can help you feel calm. Maybe you light a candle or put on gentle music. These are not big changes, but they speak to your nervous system. They say, you're safe here. And when you feel safe, you can focus better. You can feel better. You can act better. There's something else I want you to hear clearly. You are not lazy. If your room is messy, it does not mean you don't care. It might mean you are overwhelmed. Overwhelmed means you have too much to think about. Too many problems, too many plans, too little rest. And when we feel this way, we shut down. We don't clean, not because we don't want to, but because we don't know where to start. That's why this podcast doesn't ask you to clean your whole house. It asks you to begin with one space, one corner, one surface. And often the best place is your bed or the area around it. Let's say you choose your nightstand. It's small. Maybe there's a book, some dust, an old receipt, a charger, and a cup. Take 5 minutes, remove what you don't need, wipe it down. Place only 1 or 2 useful things there. Now step back. What do you see? That's not just a table. That's proof. Proof that you can make change. Proof that your mind can breathe again. You didn't need 1 hour. You didn't need a new life. You needed 5 minutes. This small win can carry into the rest of your day. Maybe now you feel ready to open your notebook, or call someone, or just breathe deeper. That's what clear space gives you. Space to breathe, think, and move forward. Some people say they work well in a mess. Maybe that's true for some moments. But long term, most brains work better in calm places. If your brain is always trying to process mess, it uses energy. That's energy you could use for writing, learning, or simply enjoying your day. We often try to change our feelings directly, but sometimes it's easier to change our space and let the feeling follow. If your room is heavy, your heart might feel heavy too. But if your room feels gentle, your heart may soften. That's not weakness. That's smart care. I want to remind you again, this is not about being perfect. There will be days when your space is messy. There will be days when you don't feel like doing anything. That's okay. Don't punish yourself. But also, don't give up. Even if everything else feels out of control, try to control this one thing, your space. Make it kind to your brain. Make it gentle for your eyes. Let your space help you, not hurt you. So here's your small action for today. Pick one surface near your bed. Maybe it's a chair, maybe a shelf, maybe the floor beside your bed. Choose it. Clear it. Wipe it down. Don't do more. Just that. Then tomorrow, look at it again. Feel the calm it gives you. This is the power of environment. And now, as we keep building good habits, we'll look at how one small task can grow into more. Let's keep going. Let's talk about something many of us struggle with, starting new habits and keeping them. Have you ever felt excited to make a change only to stop after a few days? Maybe you made a plan to wake up earlier, drink more water, or write a journal. You began strong, but then life got busy. You missed one day, then another. Soon, the habit was gone, and you felt disappointed. If this sounds like you, don't worry. You're not alone. The truth is, starting is easy, but staying consistent is where real change happens. And the key is to start small, really small, smaller than you think. That's where making your bed comes in. Making your bed each morning may not feel important. It's quick, quiet, and no one sees it but you. But that's exactly why it matters. It's not for others, it's for you. This small task teaches your brain a very important skill: to begin. Most people wait until they feel ready. They wait for energy, motivation, or a perfect day. But that day doesn't always come. Instead of waiting, we can train ourselves to act first. When you make your bed, you don't need to feel inspired. You just do it. And when you finish, your brain gets a reward. You feel a little better, a little clearer. That feeling creates momentum. Momentum means movement that continues to build. One small action makes the next one easier. That's the power of habit. Think about it like this. After making your bed, your brain is already in action mode. You might think, well, I've already done one thing. Maybe I can do one more. That one more could be drinking a glass of water, opening the window, or brushing your teeth. These actions are simple, but they're part of a chain. A chain is a group of things that stay connected. In this case, each task links to the next. You're creating a loop of positive actions. It's not about being perfect. It's about staying in motion. Let me tell you about someone named Sarah. She's a student who often felt tired in the mornings. She had big plans for exercise and reading, but couldn't keep up. So we changed the goal. Her only task was to make her bed each morning. That's it. No exercise, no writing, just the bed. After 1 week, she felt different. She didn't feel like a superhero, but she felt steady. She said, "I didn't skip a day, and that made me want to try more." The next week, she added 5 minutes of stretching. Then, a cup of tea with no phone. Her morning routine didn't start big. It started with one habit, repeated daily. That's how growth begins. There's another lesson here. Your habits shape your identity. Identity means how you see yourself. If you see yourself as someone who always breaks routines, you might stop trying. But what if your identity could change, one action at a time? Every time you make your bed, you're telling your brain, I am someone who starts. That message becomes stronger each day. Slowly, you move from someone who plans to someone who does. That shift changes your confidence. You don't need to wait for a new year or a big reason. You just need to repeat a small act again and again. Let's look at another important idea. Habits are stronger than intentions. Intentions are plans we make in our minds. We often say, I want to do this, or I will try that. But without action, those words fade. Habits, on the other hand, live in the body. They are physical. They happen without thinking too much. You don't decide to brush your teeth every morning. You just do it. That's the goal, to make helpful actions automatic. You don't need to debate or delay. You just show up, you make your bed, you take a breath, you step into the day. Now, I know there will be hard days. You'll feel tired or sad or distracted, and that's okay. Don't expect every day to be easy. But even on a hard day, your small habits can stay with you. They are like anchors. An anchor is something that holds a boat in place. Your habits can hold you steady, even in busy or stormy times. If you miss a day, don't stop. Begin again the next day. That's what real discipline looks like. Not being perfect, but returning after you fall. You are not failing. You are still learning how to show up for yourself. To help make your habit stronger, try this. After making your bed each day, add one more simple action. Just one. It could be opening the window, drinking water, writing one word in a notebook, or saying something kind to yourself. Keep it easy. Keep it small. Don't add too much at once. Let your habit grow naturally. When one action feels automatic, then add another. That's how routines become part of your life. Slowly, gently, and without stress. It's also helpful to track your progress. You don't need a fancy journal. Just use a piece of paper or your phone. Each time you do your habit, mark an X. Watch the line grow. When you see the pattern, you'll feel proud. That small mark is proof. Proof that you're building something. Proof that you're choosing care, even when life feels busy. Each X tells a story. You showed up. And here's something I want you to remember. Big change often feels scary, but small change feels possible. If you try to change everything at once, your brain gets tired. But if you change one thing at a time, your brain feels safe. That's how you build real strength, not from one big step, but from many small ones. You already have what it takes. You just need to begin. So don't rush. Don't try to fix your whole life in a week. Start with your bed. Add one more action. Then repeat. Keep it light. Keep it kind. If you miss a day, it's not the end. You can always return. That's the beauty of habits. They wait for you. Here's your action for today. After you make your bed tomorrow morning, choose one new micro task to follow it. Just one. It could be anything that supports your peace. Try it for a few days and see how it feels. And when you're ready, we'll talk about the final piece, how the way you end your day can support the way you begin. Let's keep moving forward. Let's talk about something we often ignore, how we end the day. Most people focus on the morning routines, morning habits, morning energy. But what happens at night also matters. In fact, how you close your day can change how you begin the next one. Let's look at a simple truth. If you go to bed in a messy room, your mind takes that mess with it. You might not notice it, but your brain is still working when you sleep. It's still collecting signals. And if your last signal is chaos, your sleep may feel less restful. But if your space is calm, your brain can finally relax. That's why the bedtime reset is important. A bedtime reset means you close the day with care. You give your brain a message. It's safe to rest now. This doesn't mean cleaning the whole room. It means doing one or two small things to create peace. For example, smooth your blanket, put your book back on the shelf, turn off harsh lights, and choose a soft one instead. Maybe take one deep breath. These simple acts help your nervous system slow down. Your nervous system is the part of you that controls stress and rest, and it listens to your space. So when your space is quiet, your body listens too. You might think, but I'm tired at night. I just want to sleep. Of course, that's normal. But think about this. If you can spend just 3 minutes doing something kind for your future self, the result may surprise you. A clean pillow, a smooth blanket, a small light, and a kind word to yourself. These things say, you deserve rest. And when you sleep with that message, you wake up with more strength. That's not a fantasy. It's a pattern. It's how the brain responds to care. We also need to talk about self-talk. That's the way you speak to yourself in your head. Many people speak harshly to themselves, especially at night. You lie in bed and think, I didn't do enough. Or, why can't I be better? These thoughts are heavy. They stop your body from relaxing. But you can change the script. You can say, I did my best today. Even if your day was hard, you're still here. You still showed up. That is enough. Changing your self-talk doesn't mean ignoring your problems. It means adding kindness. Kindness doesn't make you weak. It makes you strong enough to try again tomorrow. There's also something powerful about finishing the day with one complete act. Making your bed in the morning begins your day with a win. Ending the day by resetting your space closes the circle. It tells your brain, this day had a start and an end. This day was mine. Even if the middle was messy or stressful, you still chose care. That's how we build trust with ourselves, not with perfect days, but with small signs of respect. Let's take a closer look at one common feeling: guilt. Many people feel guilty when they rest. They think, I didn't do enough to deserve rest. But here's the truth. Rest is not a reward. It's a right. You are allowed to end your day. You are allowed to stop. And when you create a gentle bedtime routine, you give yourself permission to be human. You don't need to earn sleep. You just need to receive it. That shift in thinking can change your life. Now you might ask, what should I do at night? That depends on you. For some, it's turning off all screens 30 minutes before bed. For others, it's writing one sentence in a notebook. It could be stretching for 2 minutes or lighting a candle. The action doesn't matter as much as the message. The message should be, I'm ending this day with love. And love doesn't need to be big. It just needs to be real. Think of a child being put to bed. A parent often tucks the blanket in, says something kind, maybe sings a soft song. That child feels safe. That child sleeps well. You may not be a child anymore, but your heart still needs care. You can give yourself that care. Tuck yourself in with respect. Create your own soft ending. It might feel strange at first, but soon it will feel normal. And when you wake up, you'll carry that peace into your next day. There's one more thing to remember. Your room talks to your brain. If the last thing you see before sleep is a pile of stress, your body feels it. But if the last thing you see is a made bed, a clear floor, and soft light, your body also feels that. It feels calm. It feels ready. And that's what rest is, a return to calm. So give yourself the gift of calm. Even 5 minutes of quiet care can prepare your brain for deep, healing rest. Let's not forget, growth is not only about what you do when you're awake. It's also about how well you recover. Recovery means your brain and body restore energy, and the best way to support recovery is to end the day gently. You don't need music, books, or apps to do this. You only need intention. That means choosing one action, one word, or one breath that brings your day to a close. Now, maybe today wasn't a good day. Maybe things didn't go as planned. That's okay. You still have the power to end it with peace. Even after a bad day, you can create a soft moment. That moment is where healing begins. That moment is your reset. So please don't wait for the perfect day to begin a new pattern. Begin tonight. Here's your action. Before you sleep tonight, smooth your blanket with care. Sit on your bed for 1 quiet minute. Then whisper something kind to yourself. Maybe say, I tried, or I'm still learning, or simply, good night, me. This is not silly. It's science. It's emotional training. And from this gentle end, we'll move into something even more powerful. How small acts create deep change. Stay with me. Let's pause for a moment. Not to add more ideas. Not to push forward, just to breathe. You've come this far in the episode, and maybe your mind is full. Maybe part of you is thinking, this all sounds good, but I don't know if I can do it. If that's what you're feeling, I want you to know, it's okay. You're not behind. You're not broken. You're human. Sometimes we hear simple advice like, make your bed, and it feels too small. Or maybe it reminds us of all the things we haven't done. Maybe we think, I should have started earlier, or other people are better at this. But that voice in your head doesn't always tell the truth. It tells you stories. Some of them are kind, some are not. But the truth, the real truth is this. You're here. You're listening. You're learning. That's enough for today. We all have hard days. Days when energy disappears, and even small tasks feel big. Maybe you've had a few of those recently. Maybe you're in the middle of one right now. If so, don't fight the feeling. Just notice it. Say to yourself, this is where I am, and it's okay to be here. There's strength in being honest about how you feel. There's power in staying with yourself, even when it's not easy. Your journey is not a straight line. Some days will feel clear, some will feel slow, but the small choices you make, even when no one sees, still count. Every time you show up for yourself, it adds something, it builds something, and you won't always feel the results right away. That doesn't mean they aren't real. Progress is quiet, but it grows, just like you. If you need to rest, rest. If you need to go slower, go slower. That's not failure. That's care. And care is part of discipline. You can take breaks, you can change direction, but don't give up on yourself. Not today, not this week. You don't need to become someone else. You only need to keep becoming more of who you are. Someone who chooses to grow, one small moment at a time. So as we move into the final part of this episode, I invite you to soften your thoughts. Let go of pressure. You don't need to be perfect. You only need to continue. Let's keep going. Today, we've explored something simple but powerful: how making your bed can help clear your mind. We began with the idea that one small task in the morning can set the tone for your day. It's not about being perfect. It's about showing up, even in a quiet way. Then we talked about your environment, how a clean space can help your brain feel more focused and peaceful. When your surroundings feel calm, your thoughts often follow. We also looked at habits. Real change comes from doing small things over and over, not from waiting for the perfect moment. When you make your bed each morning, it teaches your brain to start. That small win can grow into other wins, like drinking water, moving your body, or journaling. These things add up. They shape your identity. You move from being someone who plans to someone who acts. And finally, we talked about how you end your day. A calm bedtime routine helps your mind rest. A simple act, like smoothing your blanket or whispering something kind to yourself, tells your body it's safe to relax. When you end your day with care, you start the next one with strength. So here's your next step. Just make your bed. Do it tomorrow morning before anything else. Then take a breath and notice how it feels. It might seem small, but it's a step forward. And every step matters. If you've made it this far, thank you. You've shown commitment, and that's worth celebrating. Keep going. Keep building. Keep being kind to yourself as you grow. If this episode helped you, please subscribe, share it with a friend, and come back next Monday. This is Monday English Podcast, where we build better English and better lives, one simple habit at a time.